Hello, I'm Areli, and today I'm going to talk about report speech. What is report speech? It is the grammatical function that we apply when we say or report what someone else said in another time or place. The tense of the verb usually changes when we report speech, from direct speech to report speech. Simple present turns into simple past. Present continuous turns into past continuous. Simple past turns into past perfect. And I missed here, but here was present perfect turns into past perfect. Past perfect maintains into past perfect. Am, is, are going to turns into was, were, going to. Will turns into would, and can turns into could. For example, we reserve a room is the direct speech. They told me that they had reserved a room is reported speech. They told me, for example, my family reserved a room. So they told me. Simple past turns into past perfect. It is the auxiliary verb had. Let's see other examples. I drink too much soda. The direct speech turns into my brother told me he drank too much soda. My brother told me. We use told when we specify that he told me. And let's see. Drink changes to drank. 2. We're watching TV. This is the contraction of we are. Turns into they said they were watching TV. Why we don't use told me? Because they just said, not to me. And here is the change. Are turns into were. Number 3. Marilyn didn't clean the house. He said Marilyn hadn't cleaned the house. Here is past simple. We are using didn't. And the verb is in the base form. But here changes to hadn't cleaned. The past participle of the verb clean. Why we use he said? Because we can say that I can say that my father said this, not to me. That's why I use said. Number 4. I haven't found my keys yet. Turns into my brother told me he hadn't found his keys yet. This is present perfect. That turns into past perfect. The verb is the same in participle, but the auxiliary turns into past. My brother told me to me. Number 5. I had finished my homework. Turns into she said she had finished her homework. For example, I said this. I didn't say this to another person. That's why we use she said. She, because I'm a girl. Number 6. Renee is going to study at the library. Is going to change to was going. She said Renee was going to study at the library. Why we use she said? Because my mother probably she said, but she didn't tell me. Or she didn't talk to my sister. She just said, I'll go to the bank. This is future. This is the contraction of I will. Turns into she will go to the bank. Why? Why we use she? Because we can say that my aunt, my cousin said this. So she will go to the bank. If my brother said this, we should to use he would. Number 8. Marlene can't swim. Turns into they told her Marlene couldn't swim. Why we use told her? For example, we can assume that my grandmother asked to my family that if I can swim. So they, my family, told to my grandmother that I couldn't swim. I don't like the house. Turns into my dad said that he didn't like the house. Simple present turns into simple past. Don't turns into didn't. Number 10. We're cooking lunch. Turns into they told me they were cooking lunch. For example, I just arrived at home and my family is cooking, so they told me we're cooking. That we use told me. We use say when we don't indicate who is spoken to. And we use told when we say who is spoken to. This is a note that we use tell and say in report speech. This is all for today. Thank you for your attention.